So I've been listening to the audiobook of Democracy in Chains, and there's something that's really standing out to me in the book about basically this strategy to try to turn the public against Social Security, because Social Security is a wildly popular program. A lot of people love it. A lot of elderly people love it. A lot of people have been paying into it for a long time, so they're hoping that it's still going to be there. I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the strategy that people like. There's an economist named James Buchanan, and he had this strategy to try to turn the public against Social Security. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so one strategy to try to divide people on Social Security was with younger people. They promoted the idea that they could avoid paying into Social Security. They tried to promote this thought that Social Security was an unsustainable program that's just a burden for them, and it's really just benefiting the older generation. So trying to turn young people against Social Security. They also advocated for means testing. So again, it's part of this strategy of division, where they're trying to basically have different messaging for different groups to turn them against Social Security. So the means testing for Social Security benefits, it means that the benefits would only go to those who needed it most. And they thought, I bet that a lot of liberals will get on board with this. But the problem here is that it would erode the program's universal appeal. So a lot of upper middle class and wealthier people, they would then be resentful because they paid into it and now they're not getting anything from it. So if they transform it into just a regular welfare program, there's going to be more of a stigma, and there's going to be less people in the middle class, upper middle class, and the wealthy that like it. So again, different strategies, different messaging for different groups. And then they tried to hammer doubts about sustainability. So they tried to highlight hey, it's not going to be around for very long, so you're not going to get anything from it. Another thing that it's not listed right here, but I remember the audiobook highlighting, is that for older people, they would tell the older people hey, if we get rid of Social Security, you're going to be grandfathered in. So if you're grandfathered in, you're going to continue to have access to it. And so it's not sustainable for younger generations, but you all can keep it, with the hope that this would lead more of the elderly to be in favor of basically getting rid of the program in the future. Okay, so again, this was James Buchanan. It was a divide and conquer strategy to try to get the public to turn against Social Security. A lot of economists like him, more kind of libertarian types, they viewed Social Security as a very negative thing for the United States. They viewed a lot of what FDR had done as a very negative thing that violated liberty. Keep in mind that before Social Security, you had people that were put in poorhouses that were just awful conditions. A lot of people just didn't have the money. If you don't have some type of Social Security, absolutely, the poorest people, they're not able to save for retirement. They're barely able to afford their expenses day to day, if they can afford them at all. And so without some type of safety net, we're basically, it's kind of a Darwin type society where we're just saying okay, fend for yourself. It's on your family or on churches to help, which these people really can't help. If you think you're telling someone it's on them to get help from family, if you're an ambitious young person in your maybe mid-20s, late 20s, and you come from a poor family, if you're helping your family, you're now put at a huge disadvantage in the investing world, where you have far less to contribute to your own 401k, to build your own wealth, to build your own path, if you feel this obligation to be providing for your elderly parents or helping with elderly grandparents. So the concept of equality of opportunity, some would argue that based on that, to give people less obligation if they didn't grow up rich, Social Security is a great program. But yeah, interesting just seeing the way that Buchanan tries this divide and conquer strategy. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll have a lot more videos coming out in the future on political books, history books, ideas and philosophy. And so like and subscribe for more. Thanks again.